All right, well, thank you for joining Vibe Osmosis. I actually just took some mushroom caps and I've been drinking, I've been smoking. I just did an interview before you guys, so I've been really vibing on the Vibo. How's your guys' day? How's your guys' music? I've been checking you guys' stuff out. It's rocking.
Yeah, we're all doing good. I mean, like we're all in school and shit, so um mad busy all the time for real. But um no, we're all doing good. I mean, it's been fun just like getting music and stuff out. Um I don't know. I think we're all doing pretty good, huh?
How old are y'all?
Huh?
How old are y'all? I'm 26.
Say we're all pretty so we're all about 20. Patrick, you're 20, he's 23. Lucas is 19. He's our youngest member. Oh, are you 20?
20.
Yeah, 20. We're all about like early 20s pretty much.
All right. So everybody introduce themselves, your band, what you do in the band, all that jazz.
I'll just go first. I'm Will Fortune. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Patrick, and I'm playing bass.
I'm Lucas, and I play drums in the band.
I'm Elliot, and I played synth.
Name what you do.
Blake Pansingle, lead guitar.
And that's
And that's the boys. That's all of us.
Patrick.
Will. And we got Elliot and Blake. Pretty much we all just met through skating. Pretty much skating, and then like Blake and Lucas and Blake live together. They've like known each other since high school. So they live together, and pretty much, yeah, we just all met at the skate park, to be honest. And everybody we kind of met through that was just all through skating in Cincinnati.
Vibo. I'll share this. So I got really fucking drunk out in I was on tour with my friend's band. I got really fucking drunk and we stopped at a hotel and we were all skateboarding on the parking lot and it was like nighttime and the spa was down, the pools were down, nobody was out, so we were just getting really drunk and high out in the parking lot, and all of a sudden I'm like trying to pull moves, and I later on dislocate my elbow. I dislocate my elbow and my
Oh
shoulder.
shit!
And so we actually go and play like a show the next night, and we play at like
Oh,
the Psychedelic Shack out in Detroit. And then like I'm like calling my family out here in Ohio, and I'm like, I think something's fucked up. Like the next day after the show, I was like, so high, so drunk. I was like, ah, I think like I really fucked up my body, but like I've been powering through it. And they were like, well, you should probably come back to Ohio and get yourself checked out, or like get yourself checked out there. And so I eventually, come back home, and I was literally home for like 1 or 2 days, and it was the wildest 1 or 2 days of my life.
that's crazy, bro.
I
Yeah, breaking
remember
your
like
fucking collarbone.
this person looked at my arm at the doctor's and they were like, "That's fucking weird. I've never seen an arm fucking do that." And I'm like, "Dude, you're a fucking professional and you're telling me this?"
Yeah, no, that's terrifying. I thankfully never like jacked up any of my stuff on skating too bad. There's like one summer I like messed up my ribs, and like the ribs fucking suck to hurt because they just like you just gotta suffer low key.
That's for sure. Like in Miami, I was doing some jumps and like I jumped in the bowl, and it was like the first time I was back on the board in a while since I was younger, and I totally ate ass, and like I busted my el- like I busted no I busted my my ankles at that time, and like my ankles were so swelled up, and I was just like in the van, like we were like torn in the van, and I was just like, guys, like I can't even walk, I can't do nothing. I was like, miserable guy.
Yeah, bro.
All right, so have you guys played any shows or anything like that?
Yeah, we've been playing a good little bit. We're like pretty much booked every weekend in April, which is pretty cool. We're getting up to Columbus to play a show at like Cafe Bourbon Street, which is a little venue up there. Yeah, we definitely been playing like a good amount. That's been like one thing that's been pretty like, I mean, except for like when we're like on break for school or we all go like out. Yeah, it's been a pretty like constant thing since we started the band back in September to like just play a lot. Honestly, like we've played. I say a lot. Like I mean, it's like I mean I don't know. I'd say on average like I mean 3 shows a month at least.
And we've done like 25 shows since we started in late September. Yeah.
I know I asked how do you all meet each other. If you want to chime in on this, go ahead.
What was that?
I mean, I think pretty much I met Patrick through a good friend, and then our good friend Zeke, I met Patrick through him, and then Patrick was just like, yeah, like I've always wanted to be kind of in like a band and just do a show, and Zeke he like had always wanted to throw like a house show too, so he was like, all right, well I'll give you guys a date, and then you guys basically just, I mean he just said like asked me like, yo, get this band together and we can throw this shit, and um I had like been kind of writing some music over the summer, um, and pretty much from there, I was like, okay, cool. Like I know it was just me and Patrick at this point, and then from there I met Blake at the skate park. I met Elliot at the skate park, and then from there I remember just talking to Blake and he was just like, yeah, like I've done some solo sets and stuff, and I was like, okay, sick. Like so he's probably pretty good if he's played like actual venues and stuff, and that's really cool, and I thought that was pretty hip. So then from there we just all got together to practice, the 4 of us, and then we were playing for like we've been practicing for like 3 weeks, and then from there we were like, yo, I think we could just do a fucking like private show. And I mean it was like we had like a solid 40 honestly I'd say like 40 to an hour long set, depending on how long Blake could solo for, because like man has, I mean I don't know if you've seen any of like, I mean the songs and pantsing you can hear, I mean dude has like a shred, I mean yeah, super shreddy style, and it's super sick, and it can just shred for like probably like however long we needed him to, but um but yeah, and then from there it was just, that was it. And then not too long ago we were kind of shooting the shit around and just talking about like adding maybe some synth and stuff. I remember like Lucas and I from the beginning had always, I remember there was like one time we were hanging out and just talking about adding like synths eventually in the music and stuff, and I don't know if you remember that car ride. No, okay. But anyways, we were talking about just always having the idea that maybe adding synth at some point, and then Elliot like literally just texted. I was in like a coffee shop doing homework, and he just texted me one day in this video of him like ripping on the keys, and I was like, oh damn, all right. So then from there, I don't know, I like had an idea, and I was like, let's just like try this out. And so so basically, yeah, like
Recordings out though, do you? You only have like two recordings out right now?
yeah, so we recorded those while we were on Christmas break, which was basically like end of December to early January. We just recorded those in Patrick's mom's basement. So we just like packed up everything, moved it to his basement, because it was like, in terms of like soundproof, it just was like, it was pretty nice, and we get some good like, just some good like, in terms of recording drums, we would get some good sounds from there. And then from there, we just recorded everything into my laptop with like a little 2-channel interface. So we had like 2 mics on the whole. We just did like a mic on the kick and like an overhead, and just rolled with that. And then it ended up turning out pretty good. And then I ended up I'm in school for like music production and stuff, so I kind of am a little familiar with like the DAWs and stuff and like Logic. So we just recorded it all into Logic, and then I mixed it, and from there, yeah, just like basically we ended up recording like 4, because what we did was we just like did like a sleepover basically, where we like stayed at Patrick's basement for like 3 or 4 nights straight. Yeah, and then we actually ended up all getting COVID from that, which was pretty bad. But pretty much, yeah, we just ended up recording like 4 songs, and then from there we just, when we released 2. And then at this point, we played a show not too long ago at this place called Black Plastic Records up in Cincinnati, here in Cincinnati. And basically we are really, the owner there is a really cool guy, and he's really sick. So definitely shout out his shop. They're got a really cool record store there. But and so then he actually reached out to us and was talking about just doing some recording and stuff with him. And so in terms of our album, which we want to hopefully get out by the beginning of summer, would be really cool, is to just record the album with him, which is going to be about like 7 or 8 songs, I think, and then record the album and have that. But just for now, we got the 2 singles. I mean, I think they're doing, I mean, they've been doing well on Spotify, and I'm super, I think we're all pretty pleased with how they turned out. I'm excited to see how the album's going to go though, and how that's going to plan out. So, but yeah.
Does anyone want to chime in on how you all met and started making music?
Pretty much, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean,
I knew Blake. Blake was in my same major the first semester, so I knew Blake first last year, and then I met Will from skating, and then I met Lucas from skating too. And then met Patrick like when I started hanging around these guys.
Yeah, just kind of like friends of friends, pretty much.
Yeah. And we started playing right away. Like we all met each other and knew we wanted to like we started hanging out for the purpose of playing in a band. So we just started jamming as soon as we met.
This is where it gets a little fun. Favorite color for everybody. What's your vibe?
Probably green, low key.
It's cyan for me for sure.
Cyan. That's cool. What about you, Lucas?
I'm a purple guy, so it's probably like a magenta or a something along those lines, like a darker but poppier purple. What's your favorite color, Blake? Wait, apricot.
Ooh.
Oh.
What's you?
Navy blue.
Navy blue, classic. Yeah.
Respectable answers all around.
Yeah.
Who said baby blue? Sorry.
Oh, navy blue. That was me, Elliot.
Okay. Why baby blue?
No, navy, like dark blue kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, like dark blue navy.
And also, Lucas, why magenta? Why does that stick out for you?
I just liked it for a while, you know. The color was introduced to me while I was playing Minecraft Xbox 360 edition, and ever since I saw that color of wool, I've just been a big lover of the color, really.
Okay, so everybody's astrological sign.
I'm Capricorn. All right, what's yours, Patrick? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm Scorpio.
Scorpio.
I'm Cancer.
Cancer as well.
I'm a Leo.
What about you, dude?
For me personally,
Yeah.
well, they say Scorpio, but they also say my dad's Scorpio, because we're born on the same day, and I don't know if we're exactly similar or the same. You know what I mean? You ever got that vibe with other people you meet of the same sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, personally, I don't. I mean, I think there's some things you can definitely learn from it, but I don't know how much I believe. Yeah, astrological stuff for real.
Here's a little tricky question. It's the essential survival question of Vibe Osmosis right now. If you were trapped on an island and you could bring one thing with you, what would you bring?
Probably a copy of like Predator the movie on VHS.
You don't have any way to watch it, bro.
No way to watch it, but I got the tape.
No.
What's your answer, Patrick?
I don't know. I'm thinking.
What do you got? One thing, man. Eminem's "Lose Yourself" on CD.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Slim Shady in the
I'm
house.
going with.
We got a Slim Shady
I'd have
fan.
to say a nice 12-pack of summer shandies.
Oh, why only 12?
Because
You only need one to get.
it takes me about 4 to have a good time, 5 to black out, so I've got a few nights for me there.
I think 12 definitely gets me there. I think after 6, I'm like, okay, I think I'm drunk now. Am I ready to party? That's the brew talking.
It is.
All right, gets into my next question. All right, are you guys fans of smoking weed?
I'm sorry, can you repeat it?
Fans of smoking weed?
I was low-key into it for a bit.
Oh, Blake's got an answer for you.
Weed makes me really scared, so I don't. Whenever I smoke it, I get really scared. so I don't do it that much.
Just because the government's listening, I understand. All right. So if you were going to be trapped in a sitcom for the rest of your life, what sitcom would you guys choose?
Ooh, I don't know. Family Guy. Family Guy. That would be anything possible.
Personally.
Good luck, Charlie. His channels. Good luck, Charlie.
Disney Channel, bruh. I'd probably be in Jesse from Disney Channel. Dude, Jesse was.
You'd be the lizard.
Yeah, I'd be the lizard for real. What's you, Patrick?
Mr. Kipling, bro.
Mrs. Kipling?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Is Arrested Development a sitcom?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Arrested Development's a good one. What about you? What sitcom would you be in?
For myself, I think I'm more of like a Futurama kind of person. I think I
That's
guess
base.
I think I get stuck
Solid
in there. Cause like in that realm, it's like even if you're dying or like whatever, it's like you're getting revived because of like all of the stuff that they have going on there, or like the different alien worlds. I don't know. There's so much stuff in that one. I'm like, that guy. Yeah, God bless Springfield, I guess, if you want to put it in that way.
Yeah.
Are you fans of like The Simpsons?
Of that like that area of shows, I feel like I ended up watching Futurama and like Family Guy the most. I never really got into The Simpsons for real.
I think The Simpsons has some good stuff, but also exactly, has some period time PC moments too. It's like if you didn't grow up maybe watching it. It's the same thing with like anime. I feel like some of the are you got anybody fans of anime?
Yeah, we definitely got some. We have some big anime fans here.
Titan that came out this month.
I can talk anime all the time. All right, so go into it. Shout out favorite animes, anime life. All right, let's get into it.
My favorite's probably Neon Genesis Evangelion.
FMA Brotherhood for me.
Never seen that. I've got to decide. I've got so many I've seen. What's your favorite anime, Blake?
Demon Slayer.
What about you, Elliot?
I don't really watch it.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
For me,
I'd say High School DxD.
Wait, what's that one? That's like.
Well, High School DxD is definitely one of those ones I have not came across, and I'll have to give it a spin. I want to always shout out for my anime as I mean, obviously I grew up loving like Full Metal Alchemist, but like Record of Lotus War, Blackjack. The Blue Gender is one of those ones I'm a really big fan of. If you haven't taken the dive one, it's Blue Gender is kind of like I feel like situational where it could happen now. It's like you got this sickness and the doctors say, well, we could fix it maybe in a couple years, so we'll put you in this capsule. And so you go with it, and then then like you wake up in this capsule, and like the world's taken over by like alien life form bugs, and like you're having to kind of join like this revolution of trying to save mankind per se. It's really
Yeah, I watched one. Like it was some similar plot. It was My Harem at the End of the World. It was about some guys. You've seen it? Yeah, it's a good one.
into the whole pandemic feel too.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll tap into a little bit of your music. Your guys' songs that you have out. What was the recording process? Did you like have vocals first? Did you have like a riff idea? Did you kind of come together and like say this is what you want to sound like? What happened?
So we all just kind of took our own influences and kind of just like put them into this little bucket of soup we got here, and they're just all just floating around in there. And Pants theme, the one of the two originals we have out, came from myself and Blake jamming over the summer, where I played just this a little bit weirder triplet rhythm that he just had to figure out how to work something in with. And once he did that, we had come up with an idea to put a little indie riff in front of like a metal song, and that was what came out of that little idea. And those two ideas put together turned into two songs that we have now. And then the recording was just as Will said earlier, we just recorded it with a couple mics in Patrick's basement. And for Loving You, that one was more of a Will-centered idea there, but it was really there is no chorus for Loving You, really. The chorus is taken up by a few breakdowns that came from our lead guitarist, Blake, that really just kind of set it apart, you know? Instead of having a chorus, we just have a couple breakdowns that just makes it sound a bit different than other things, you know?
All right, so Blake, whenever it comes to the guitar, are you kind of having to feed what you like know, or are they kind of giving you like, oh, I want it to sound like, you know, are they like giving you little stuff, or how does it work for you whenever you're making some of these riffs and stuff that we hear in this music?
Like, how do you come up with riffs?
Is this a question for me?
Yeah.
How do I come up with riffs? Well, I mean, I use like just a bunch of like, it's hard to explain because it just kind of comes to me. Usually I do it like by messing around with a song that I like already know, and then I just kind of put my own spin on it, or like I just like am messing around with like a scale or something like that, and then it just kind of comes to me like by like just like kind of noodling around and playing around the fretboard. There's no like process that I use. It's just I kind of just like if I get into like a more of a creative state, and I'm just kind of messing around like on my guitar for like cause when I'm practicing or whatever, then it usually that's how I made Pants Theme. How I made Pants Theme was by using two chords of a song that I knew how to play, and then I just instead of like strumming the chords, I played out every individual note in the chord, to play Pan's theme, and then yeah.
So there's also like aspects of, so you're grabbing like influence of what you know and then adding like your own tweak to it, but is there kind of like moments where you're really having to kind of, stay with like maybe like with what the words are, or trying to like fit like your guitar notes with like what the drums are doing? Are there any kind of like moments where, where you don't necessarily feel like you're feeding everything, or do you feel like it's always kind of guitar driven?
Um, so the music always comes before the lyrics. We always write the music before the lyrics, I think, or before the vocals come along. So basically, honestly, a lot of it, I feel like Lucas and we bounce off of each other a lot, because like I'll do something and then he'll like back me up on it, and then like he'll do something and then I'll kind of like just like go off of that. So it just kind of is kind of sporadic. There's no, and then will like make like a riff. Honestly, like nobody. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, the guitars are always going to be in like kind of like the like I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because we all kind of like take the lead in some aspects whenever it comes to like creating a song, and or like because you also have to know when to play and when not to play, like when not to like overplay and stuff like that. So it just kind of it just depends on the song, and then just depends what's happening with. You got to be cognizant of what's going on amongst the other members while the song is playing, because we'll usually jam it out and play out the song.
Also, in your recording process, is it kind of separating it track by track since you're doing it like with Logic, or is it like everybody in the same room and then like you're like later on editing, and like editing everything that you may be getting, like your direct ends or your mixer board, or however you have it set up? Going to get into like your recording process?
Yeah, we basically just ran everything just into Logic straight up. We just ran from an interface right into Logic and then just recorded from there. We started with basically, I think we started the track with guitars, then bass, and then we just did drums last because that was kind of the part that took the longest with having like two mics. We had to like tone in a lot more on the drum sets, but from there, I mean, that was kind of the whole process. And then in like terms of like tones and settings, like we use a lot of just like chorus and vibrato and delay. And then obviously for Blake's like solos and stuff, he goes for the more traditional kind of like overdrive and distortion on those. So I'd say that's kind of like the process.
I right now, like I love using Logic. I use Mac, and like I did use Ableton and like FL Studio whenever I had like my laptop, my Toshiba. So it's like I've been all over the place, especially from like phones, Android, to switching over to iPhone. As far as like making music, and like I think I've always been really comfortable making music with iPhone, Apple products, like from GarageBand to Logic. And like even if you're using like their like programming drums or like their drum sounds, and like you adding in like your MIDI or whatever, like I feel like there's still always like a really good creative process that happens like within making those songs, because of like all the options it gives you on like the editing and the mixing, and like adding effects and toning stuff up, and the automizations and stuff. Is that like something like you take like a lot of time on doing, like trying to like perfect like what your sound is?
I mean, I would say it's definitely a process. I also agree. Like, I really enjoy Logic, and I think it has a great user interface. But in terms of like nailing a sound, I think a lot of it too is just like me. Like when I first got my laptop, and started like recording, I just started like immediately seeking like a kind of sound. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of artists I look up to in terms of how their recording techniques. I mean, there's a bands called Loving that I really enjoy. Loving is great. I don't know, like Loving, Good Morning. Good Morning's also like, I mean, they're a super great band. It's I think a lot of it is just a lot of it tried to stem from analog recording and like tape recording, and I was super like fascinated with that. But like getting a tape machine nowadays is going to cost an arm and a leg. So pretty much from there,
Even
I
if
just kind
it's
of was.
like a tape deck that's like recording and like you're feeding it back, it's still like a different kind of process, per se.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was I don't know, it was just a lot of toying around on Logic and messing around with like effects and amps and things like that on Logic, and then from there kind of toning in a sound that I felt, and it was kind of cool when we actually ended up. I feel like the end product of our song and how it sounded was actually, I remember when I first showed some of the demos to people, like they were like, it's kind of how it sounds live, which I think is kind of sick, is that we were able to like get a pretty close tone to how our music sounds live. And because that was really like up to that point, I mean, we'd been playing we've been playing shows and doing stuff out live and not having music out, which I mean is probably for how it is for most people, but it was cool that we kind of were able to like get it pretty like true to our sound and everything. And that, I think that's kind of cool too when artists. I mean, I think there's definitely some leeway in terms of like a studio recording versus live. But I think when you can kind of do a live show and make it sound pretty like much like the recording. I mean, I think there's some level of like, that's just kind of like, yeah, it's just kind of cool when you can do that. Yeah. I'd say for me, my favorite bands are probably Home Shake. Uh, I mean, I love Mac DeMarco. I love Loving. I love Ween. Ween's a big band I really enjoy. Um, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I gotta wait on my next paycheck before I can buy the tickets. I definitely, yeah. Oh yeah. No, I think I mean Ween is like one of those bands that they've just been playing forever, and I've heard. I mean, everyone like their live sets are insane.
Favorite bands for me, probably like the National, Pop, um, Mannequin Pussy, Blink 182. Yeah, I don't know. So those are probably up there for me.
I like the Arctic Monkeys and I like Tyler the Creator. I was just revisiting
Not a band.
well, he's a band in my heart. I was revisiting the Call Me If You Get Lost album today because the estate sale album's coming out soon with all the little goodies.
I like it, and I like that he went out on the record and was like, "These are songs that like I didn't think were ever gonna make it. I did them like fully in the studio, and like this is like my way of putting out like like an album of like songs that like needed to get out there." Like, did you see that?
Yeah,
I think it's it's a really big thing because not a whole lot of artists get that opportunity, and not a whole lot of artists get the opportunity to kind of speak up about like, okay, like these songs, like I try to put them in other stuff, but like it didn't happen, but now like here I am making like a name out of myself like with this record by itself, you know. And it really does. Like this one, I felt like this last record spoke volumes for me. But like, you know, I've been a fan growing up for a long time. But like now that I'm older, the one that I always go back to is Igor. It's like I can't ignore any of those tracks.
Oh, so should I say my favorite band? Definitely. Okay. Um, that's really hard to say. Um, I really love um John Mayer, and you ever heard of Dance Gavin Dance? They're like post-hardcore.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I say,
Are you a fan of like the Blood Brothers? I gotta ask you because like I'm a big fan of you know what the old Whitney was up to. Also, I'm a big fan of like Johnny Craig era and Morosa. You
oh,
know,
Johnny Craig era Dance Gavin Dance.
dude, I'm like deep in the trenches as far as like early
Dude, I'd say
2000s.
so. Yeah, I love another. Yeah, no, I like all the eras of Dance Gavin Dance, like Kurt Travis and obviously Killian now. Um, but yeah, I really like uh I really like oh, Masayoshi Takanaka and
Word.
Ginger Root. They're pretty good.
Okay, Ginger definitely have came across. Is everybody down to like put together like a little playlist that they'd want to like share for Vibo that like fits them best? Is that cool?
If you're the local bands one.
I mean, we have one. We have a local bands playlist.
Well, local bands definitely count. I feel like a Vibo specific ones that like you know songs that resonate with you since it's your
Oh,
interview.
just like songs that we like the best. Oh, for sure. May we could probably work on it.
All right, so have you kept up with the Family Guy? I know that we mentioned it earlier. Have you seen like these newer seasons?
Dude, I love Family Guy, especially when they come up on my TikToks under Subway Surfers.
They are. I feel like this new era of Family Guy, even though like Seth MacFarlane doesn't like do like all the writing, like it still is on point for what like we've known Family Guy to like tap into. Similar to like South Park, even though South Park's kept it hardcore original from the beginning.
Yeah, that's I love watching South Park also when it's on top of Subway Surfers or Minecraft speed runs. The only time I think that's the only time I watch them in full is when all the parts are posted on a random TikTok bootleg account.
Kind of it's like what four? It's like a long ass videos, and like they're kind of like little leaks.
Yeah, right.
I want to also get into Rocket Power. Are you familiar?
No, I mean I know the one song "Rocket Ride" by Kiss, written by Ace Frehley on Kiss Alive too.
Kiss Alive too. What's all right?
Yeah,
You're gonna
the
tell me.
live album.
I'm gonna have to pull this one up. All right, so
Dude, Kiss Alive goes crazy. Kiss
what?
Alive 1 and Kiss Alive 2. Kiss Alive 1, I would say, has like some of the best like live um live recorded music. You got Cold Gin, Deuce, actually, and Rock and Roll All Night. Like you could like I can listen to that album front to back. Um
I def I
especially
I definitely had like whenever I was younger, I had like a Kiss DVD of them like playing live, and it was like a 2 disc special like edition. And I remember like it was kind of like a special thing whenever I'd put it in because I'm like, well, my parents watched this. Like my parents used to like Kiss.
yeah. Yeah, my dad is a big Kiss guy, so he was in the Kiss Army back in the day.
Are you a fan of like the Garden? Is anybody familiar?
No.
Alright, so like the band The Garden, they're like younger kids from like Orange County, California, Nevada area for the most part. They make like weird rock music and etc. Like they do like other stuff, but they're twin brothers. They make like weird music, but they've ever since ever like whenever they've done shows, they've always put
Is it
like
kind of like Tame Impala, where it's just one guy?
no, it's actually them two together. They're actually brothers that play like
Oh,
together
okay.
live. But like every time that they do a show together, they like do like face painting and stuff, and it kind of creates like that.
Is it like the Blue Man Group then?
Well, I would say it's more like Kiss because like they do like the whole like white the whole like white out and like
Mm,
what they would say is like the jester look. It's like really going deep in the trenches of that.
gotcha.
It brings out like all the people that go out to their shows, that put on their face for it, like their Joker kind of face or the Jester face, and that's what's kind of like I think I don't know like a revival of that era because like not a whole lot of bands now kind of do that. Whenever like back in the '80s, it was like really looked at for glam rock to kind of have or even like just like even like now it's like classic rock and roll. It's like would have like this bigger look with like makeup and stuff.
Yeah,
What do you think about like bands that kind of take on like characters and like have masks and stuff?
I love clowncore.
I,
You
I,
ever see clowncore?
yeah, I really like the
Yeah, that
people.
shit's sick.
I really like the people that do like the stuff in the porta potties.
Mhm.
But
That's awesome.
they're like the clowns like making music in porta potties. I'm just like, yeah, I think I would probably go to a DIY show where I'm just like, there's some guys rocking in there. We have to watch it from a screen outside. All right. So here's one of the big essential questions of vibe osmosis for everybody. Okay,
Okay.
it'd be a favorite instrument.
Probably a Barry sax. Cause like I don't know, I feel like you see a dude rip on a Barry sax. That's like not something you see every day.
It's a theremin for me, dude. Those things are crazy. No, I wish. Uh, maybe someday. Uh, Also, dude, just so you know, we only got time for like maybe one or two questions, if that's okay, because we do gotta get practicing tonight. I mean, we're still good right now, but just letting you know if that's all right.
For my favorite instrument. Oh, sorry. What was it?
Say continue.
Oh, I like the sitar a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'm changing my answer from theremin to star.
Sitar. All right, yeah, that's my favorite.
Did you know? Fun fact about the sitar: they've got like a million strings, but only like three of them you actually play on. The rest are sympathetic strings. Crazy. Like
Sitar sax.
they're just there and they just vibrate, and you don't actually play them. It's such a cool instrument. Anyway.
Whenever I was younger, I think I looked it up on eBay and I was like trying to convince everybody, this is what I need. This is what I want. You need to invest in this. I totally
Yeah.
get the vibe. I think if I was going to retire, that would be the instrument that I'd buy and only do sets of. Like every time I just show up like at the open mic and I'm like, I'm just here to play my sitar.
I'd say my favorite instrument would probably be the Chevrolet LS engine.
Yeah, that's actually a great call. Noisemaker. Noise pop machine.
Just love the roar of a nice V8, American-made V8. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here's a really solid vibe osmosis question. Is everybody prepared for a zombie apocalypse? Do you think they become zombies?
We're big preppers.
Dude,
I got many rooms.
no, I'm gonna walk out there and let them eat me. I'm ready to go.
You're gonna be part of the problem.
I'm ready to go.
All I need, man, is my Hoka Clifton 8s, and man, I'll be running for miles.
I'll be running.
I hope they try and come to our house because they'll be decimated.
All right. So thank you everybody for joining Vibe Osmosis. I appreciate you taking the time. I hope it's good jamming. I'll keep you in the loop on all the details, but please hook me up with some music and some of that playlist. Some of those links.
Of course.
Oh, you got it, boss.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, man.